Happy Thanksgiving! It's Thanksgiving during our knit-a-thon. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful that I'm here. I am thankful that God woke me up another day to see a brand new day that I've never seen before. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for all His grace and mercy and just bringing me through all the things that I've been through this year and showing up today with a positive mindset and a real relationship with God. I am most grateful for that, for a personal relationship. And I'm also grateful for the relationship that I have with my sponsors, with the donators. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for each and every one of you that's been supporting this campaign. It has been amazing, above and beyond anything that I ever thought that I would be able to do for a fundraiser. So I truly appreciate you donating to this fundraiser. And we are at the Knitathon. If this is your first time, welcome to the Knitathon. It's daily crafting for a cause, specifically for the American Cancer Society. And when you donate directly to the American Cancer Society, you also sponsor a project for me to knit in this daily knitting, this knit-a-thon, knit at 9, specifically at 9 o'clock every day in November. We've been coming live, except for Sundays. Those are our days for rest and reflection. We've been coming on every day at 9 o'clock for an hour with the goal to complete a project within that hour. Today, our project is a flower. This is Flower Hour. And this project is sponsored by Zena. Thank you, Zena, for sponsoring today's Flower Hour, today's bookmarker. And I want to show you what that looks like, just the function of the bookmarkers themselves, just so you can have a better idea. Let's go in closer. So I have here a book just so that you can see how the bookmarkers work. I'll show it to you on the left side. So this is the bookmarker sitting inside of a book, specifically my um, journaling Bible. This is it on the left side, and this is it on the right side. This just happens to have the elastic over it, which I love. But the recipient can put their bookmarker on the page that they are wanting to save or wanting to come back to and close the book. So the stem of the bookmarker hangs or lays in the book, but the flower, these flowers that we're creating, they hang on the outside of the book. So that is just a visual for you so that you can know exactly what we're doing and why and how to use it. And especially to the sponsors, if you want to have a bookmarker as your bonus item on that raffle day, now you know exactly how to use it. For any reader, anyone that loves to read can definitely benefit from these flower bookmarkers. I think they're cute and amazing. So let's get started on our flower for today. Today, the flower that we're going to make is going to be inspired by this flower here. And let me just show that to you in full screen. So it's going to be inspired by this flower. This is going to be a really quick, simple flower that anyone can make. And you can use this flower for anything, actually. Let's go back closer. Like, even if I wanted to put the flower um, on clothing, like if you want to make it for your clothes, if you want to make it for a scarf, for a blanket, for a luggage tag, just to identify that luggage that everyone seems to have the exact same style and color. Yours can have a crocheted flower on it. to identify it. So you can use them for many things. But this one right here, we did with this Lion Brand Hometown USA chunky yarn. It's super bulky. It's a um, 6 weight yarn. But we're going to actually use this Karen Simply Soft. And I've got my crochet hook stuck in here. So this is a lot smaller. It's a lot thinner. So the flower is going to be smaller. So you can do the same thing, but just with different bulks of yarn. So let's get my book out of the way so that we can get started. The crochet flower, it's really a nice way, a simple way to make a meaningful project. Flowers resemble hope, beauty, and resilience, and it's definitely something that cancer patients going through chemo can hold on to. So I'm doing a slip knot just to start. And these flowers are actually chains. They're chain 15 and slip stitch. So we have 18 chains on here, and then we bind it all together. You can add a decorative bead, ball, whatever you want in the middle of your flower, and then use it however you like. So we have our slip knot on here. We're going to do chain 15 and then slip stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So after you get those 15 chains, you're going to go back to that very first chain and we're going to do a slip stitch. If I can get my fingers to cooperate. So we have one loop, one little petal. So after that, we're going to do 15 more chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have our next 15 chains. We're going to go back to the first one and do a slip stitch. So now we have 2 of our chain petals. And we're going to do this 18 times to create our flower. So this is the general idea of the flower. You're chaining and slip stitching in the very first chain just to anchor it on the base. So in essence, you can modify this to have longer petals, shorter petals, more petals, or less petals. Or you can even add two together. So now we have four. Four of these petals in this super simple flower, which is each petal is a chain of 15. And then we slip stitch the end of the petal back to the first chain to make a loop. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then we're going to take this back to the first chain and do a slip stitch. We have another petal. Initially, I was going to do a carnation flower, but I wanted to do a different quick flower that absolutely anyone can make. And just to show you, this is the same flower, but with a chunky yarn. And this is the flower with a much thinner yarn. This one is 6 weight. This one we're using is a 4 weight. The chunky one is 6 weight. Hi, Heather. Thank you for tuning in to our knit-a-thon daily knitting in the month of November. This is for the American Cancer Society. Are you a knitter? We're actually crocheting today, but the flower that we're making is a combination of crochet, which is what we're doing now, and the stem is actually knitted. But mainly, we have been knitting during this Knit at Nine series. This flower we're making now has chain petals. Really simple flower, but cute. Sometimes simplicity is best. I am usually quiet on the chains because I'm counting. So let's see how many petals we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This flower calls for 18 petals initially, but you can definitely create more. You can create less. You can create smaller chains. It's very versatile, so you can do it basically however you like. The flowers that we're creating in this knit-a-thon, these will be donated to cancer patients going through chemo. And I love the flower symbol because it's a symbol of hope, a symbol of resilience and beauty. And I think those are important things that cancer patients can hold on to while they're going through chemotherapy treatments. And for book readers, this is perfect for them to throw into their book while they're going through their treatments. As you see there, I lost count. So we're doing chain 15s and then we're slip stitching into the very first chain of that petal. Hopefully everyone's having a great Thanksgiving. Early start to the day. I am grateful that you have been journeying with us on this knit-a-thon. Very grateful. And since today is all about gratitude, I'd love to hear what you're thankful for this year. It could be big, it could be small, anything actually that's been like a bright spot in your life. Feel free to share in the comments what you're thankful for. Happy Thanksgiving, living our simple lives. Thank you for joining in on our knit-a-thon today. This is a knit-a-thon where we are crafting for a cause. During the month of November, we've had so many projects sponsored. This is awesome. So today, on the 28th, this is our 28th day in the knit-a-thon, we're working on an item sponsored by Zena. This is a flower bookmarker. It's crochet and knitted, and it's for a cancer patient going through chemo. They'll be able to use this while they're reading during their cancer treatments, their chemo treatments, or anytime actually. I just lost count here. Ah, right on track. 15. So these are the items that we are knitting live, but we also have an overflow tracker. So there's still spaces, there's still time for you to sponsor an item and donate to the fundraiser um, before the 30th because it ends at the end of this month. We're going until the 30th. So if you'd love to donate and make an impact and sponsor an item for Thanksgiving, that would be amazing. Add more items to my calendar to knit before the end of the month. Let's count again. And slip stitch. Let's see how many chains we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the goal is 18. So six more, but we may make more. We'll see how fluffy it is. So I'm also curious to know what Thanksgiving traditions you have. For me, It's about cooking and also about food and food and food. Also having fun with family. I just want to share with you a behind the scenes. Let's see if I can find that video. This is just a little behind the scenes of my start to cooking yesterday or last night. Baking for Thanksgiving with Christmas music. And Miss Kelly, you inspired this. Banana nut rum bread. I don't know. I've never made it before. We'll see. Also, zucchini bread. Here they go. I got my smoked turkey legs in the crock pot with some vegetables and some broth. Ready to pull them out and pull that meat off the bone so I can mix it with my cornbread to make me some dressing. I got my vegetables marinating so I can throw them in the oven tomorrow. I got my turkey legs in the refrigerator marinating so I can throw them in the oven tonight. And we also got a big old bird that Ray's gonna take and get fried. Meat overload. I ain't got no greens, beans, tomatoes, cornbread. Oh wait, I do have cornbread. Silliness during Thanksgiving. Entertaining myself while cooking. The turkey legs actually went in the oven this morning. They're in the oven right now as we speak. I did not put them on last night. They're starting now during our flour hour. And just so that you know, the different things that you can sponsor, the Cozy Chemo Beanie, Cozy Chemo Scarf, as well as the bookmarker, like what we're making right now, a flower bookmarker. Cool. Let's pull this closer. Let's see how many petals we have on here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So let's do two more and see if it's as fluffy as we want. That's 15. Give myself some slack here. Going in with the slip stitch. And I'm just going to do one more and then check. The yarn is actually starting to separate. This soft Caron yarn is 4-ply. Those plies are separating. So this is a 18. I'm just going to go ahead and do two more. Let's do 20. Let me get an even 20. So my petal is a chain of 15, slip stitching at the beginning of the chain. So going to the beginning chain, and slip stitching. Okay, so on this last one, I'm just going to pull the yarn through, give myself a pretty good tail so that I can use to weave in the base. We're going to cut this. So I'm pulling this tight. And I'm actually going to use my crochet hook here. Let's bring you closer so that you can see. I'm going to use my crochet hook to wind this around. I'm just going to turn it this way and use this as the base. You can use your hook or use your finger, whichever you want to use. Happy Thanksgiving, Kelly. Thanks for joining us. I'm not sure if you saw my behind the scenes cooking, but you inspired me to do a banana nut rum bread with the rum cake that you said you were making. So I'm using this hook as a base, and I'm just making sure that the petals are all going in the same direction and they're not twisted, so that this base can be flat on the hook, all going in the same direction. I'm actually liking this for earrings. The earrings that I'm wearing now are actually crocheted with this chunky yarn here, but I like this thin 4-ply yarn and this flower specifically for a pair of earrings. Just might do that. Okay, so now we have this flower situated, sort of. Just fluffing this out. Yes, Miss Kelly, you are an influencer. So I'm going to go ahead and load my darning needle. See if I can set that down without it unraveling. And then I'm just going to slide this out of the middle. But I'm still holding it. You can actually still see the hole that goes all the way through, which is a good thing. Because I'm just going to use this tail to bind it all together. So it's going to go through from the top through the bottom without catching the petals. and weave it through. Let go petal. Oh, wait, that's the. Wait a minute. Why is that? There we go. This end petal is where the tail is. Okay, so we're going back and forth. To put all the rows together. And I keep seaming up the petals. Don't do that. Did it again. Just to make sure that you hit the petals all the way through on the top and the bottom. Just going to turn it this way so I can see this half. You can go through as many times until it feels pretty stable. I feel some looseness on this side. That's why you want to give yourself a pretty good tail, just to have enough to keep going through as often as you need to catch all those layers. And I think we have caught all of the layers. So I'm going to take it through to the back so that I can tie a knot with the tail, with the beginning tail. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and put both of them on the darning. And go back through to the front. Go through the front, kind of at the bottom, because we're going to add a bead. Going to add a bead here. A bead of love. I'm going to drop a bead. Actually, I need to make sure this other tail comes through. Only one went through. Putting my darning needle back on here. Okay, so now I can go back through. And now we have our middle part to this flower. We can adjust our petals however we like. With our little chain flower petals. I think this is so cute. So you have the two totally the same flower, but two different sizes. This is with the chunky yarn, and this is with the thin yarn. And like I said before, I can see these as earrings. The earrings that I have on now are with this exact same yarn. So I can also see during doing earrings with this thin yarn and this flower. That is so cute. I think I'm gonna make another one. You may see me wearing these earrings or something similar to this. But we're using this chunky flower here for our bookmarker today. But I just wanted to show you what a smaller yarn flower looks like. And you can also use this for a host of different things. What I'm going to use it for is an earring. I think it's so cute. Okay, so let's attach our flower, the thicker darning needle, to our stem. I'm curious to know of your Thanksgiving traditions. For us, for me, it's food. And when my family does get together, it's a lot of games, a lot of games that we play during the holiday. This is my all time favorite game. Not sure if you've ever played the saran wrap ball game, but it is so much fun. It's so much fun. Oh, great question, Kelly. Asking how do I make the stem? I actually make the stem on the AliExpress. So the stem is knitted while the flower part is crochet. So I think this is maybe a little over halfway around. I did not use the whole all 46 needles. I think I may have used 20 or 25 or something like that. But you can make the stem as long as you want. But the rows, it's about 15 rows. I'll just bring it closer. It's about 15 rows, so it's flat. So it can be flattened out as it lays inside of the book itself. I have my journaling Bible here just to give you a visual. So it can still go into a book, and be fairly flat because the stems look fluffy because we've used this homespun yarn by Lion Brand, so it's very, very fluffy. But the end of the bookmarker, which is the flower, it just hangs over like this one, for example. So when people are using the bookmarker, the stem is what actually goes in the book, and the flower just hangs out all beautifully. It's just the decorative part of the bookmarker, which is so cute. 15 rows on the AliExpress. I have 15 rows with this curly yarn. You can add 20 up to 20 rows if you want. I think if you add more, it curls by default, but adding more would make it a lot more bulky. Um, but it does curl by default. So you don't necessarily have to seam these together, but on most, some of them I have. Hopefully that helps and answers your question. So now we're going to attach this stem to the head. And you leave a long tail at the end of the stem just so that I can attach the flower. Careful not to pick up any petals like I just did. Same way I did with the other flower. That's going to be an earring. Thank you for helping me learn how to create a brand new earring. Okay, so I need to position this way. I go into the back here. Just anchoring it onto the flower. Going through multiple stitches to make sure it is secure all the way around. Going to go into this one. You're welcome, Kelly. I think we've actually only done the stem live maybe once or twice in an effort to get a head start. And my darning needle just came off. I think that's pretty secure, but I'm just going to go in a few more times and make sure it's secure. Go here. That is great. All right, so the top of this flower, I am going to go back and forth a few times. The top of the stem. And like I said, you don't necessarily have to go all the way down to close this, but I'm going to close a bit of it at the top. This will be most of the overhang, the majority of the overhang. And then this one. And this last thing we're going to do is just send it on the inside. And cut it off. So now we have our chain link flower and our stem all attached. How cute is that? I think it's cute. And like I said before, these flowers are very versatile. You can make the flowers that we've created and put them on so many different things. But having them on the bookmarker is a symbol of hope. Symbol of hope for the recipient. And this project is sponsored by Zena. Thank you, Zena, for sponsoring this project. This cute flower bookmarker. Let's go ahead and add the tag before we forget. Do it in the direction of the hope message. And there you have it. I'll show it to you this way first on the right side. And then I'll show it to you on the left side. So amazing. So cool. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, we are so close to our final goal. We are $98 away from our final goal in the fundraiser. So that basically equates to about two beanies and two scarves, or four scarves, four projects away from meeting our final goal. If you have not donated yet, please think about giving a Thanksgiving donation through my fundraiser to the American Cancer Society so we can get as many cozy comfort items to cancer patients that we can. These are all the items that we have created already, and we have one more item tomorrow. One more that's on the calendar right now. These are other projects that we've created on the overflow tracker, but I'm really hoping that we can add a few more projects on this tracker. I'm up for the challenge to complete them before the end of the month. But the sponsors have been absolutely amazing. I am so overjoyed that we've raised over $900 for the American Cancer Society and have created so many projects that go directly to patients. So I'm ready to start packaging them up so that we can get them to the recipients next month. I'm so excited about that as well. So this is day 28. This is the final stretch of the knit-a-thon. And if you are interested, if it's on your heart to donate, please do. You can sponsor one of these items right here for a cancer patient going through chemo. The beanie, the scarf, or the bookmarker that we've created today are all something that the patients can hold on to while they're going through their treatment, and just a symbol of hope and a symbol of support, letting them know that they are not alone because they're not. They are not. And I thank you for joining us. And I'm going to let you go a little early on the hour for Thanksgiving. I really hope you have an amazing Thanksgiving, an amazing day, as well as weekend. And I thank you for watching.